How do you beat the election cycle? It's extremely harsh. That encroaching sense of feeling like the walls are closing in. So divided, so beleaguered. I would just encourage anyone to come to Crater Lake. This mythos is so much older and more powerful. Feels like you're going into a different zone. Hey Road Trotters, I'm up on Scott Peak and I'm just waiting for the sunset here. It's just gonna be just glowing down here in the lake. There's this amazing old abandoned fire lookout up here. It's a really cool, just high wind scoured place. You know, I was really thinking, how do you beat the election cycle? We seem to be just trapped in this washing machine of demagoguery, and we're supposed to have very hard feelings for other folks, other compatriots in our, immediate vicinity, even neighbors and family members. It's extremely harsh. And I was just thinking, like, how can you escape this just constant
washing machine of demagoguery?
Sort of this washing machine, and this feeling that you're trapped between these two terrible choices. And it always feels like this, but when I come to the national parks, it feels like you're going into a different zone, like a different country. And that's because it's so carefully, this sort of mythos of the national parks is so carefully fostered. It's not only like the majestic nature, these like very unique places, but it's also the human element that I've been paying more close attention to lately, because I really feel like people are coming up here from all walks of life. They're coming up here from all places in the world. So where are you from?
From Milan.
From Milan.
Yeah, near Milan.
England.
England. Where are you from?
I'm from Norway.
You're from Norway?
China.
China.
Yeah.
California.
Southern California.
Southern California. We are from Middle East, Saudi Arabia.
Taiwan.
We're from Taiwan.
Israel.
From Israel. Shalom.
Pakistan, both of us.
Pakistan. There are people from all over the world here that have come to see this. They don't come here for architecture necessarily anyway, or fine art or these other things that people go to Europe for. They come here for the national parks. I notice, like, it really brings out the best in people. Like, people are so happy to be here.
Nedá se to ani popsat, prostě nádherná modrá voda, obrovské jezero, je to tu úplně krása.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Khub
Khub
Surat.
Surat.
Yeah.
Khub Surat.
Yeah.
What
It means
does that-
beautiful. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Samerga.
Samerga. Is this correct? What is
Samerga means like superb.
Samerg? Yeah, that sounds good.
Ci toglie il fiato, è una sensazione di pace misto spavento, è bellissimo, è troppo bello.
बहुत अच्छा लगा यहाँ पे आके.
That means we felt really nice coming here in Hindi. Khol visagol bishiluf madim.
Yes. Okay. What comes to mind right away when you?
Go smack it. You have a good day, mate.
Yeah, you too, man.
Take care. Nice to meet you.
And it doesn't matter who said what or what, who's voting for who anymore so much. Of course, that's not so easily washed away these days, but it definitely feels like this MYTHOS is so much older and more powerful than what can be leveraged by various political parties and pundits and demagogues and just kind of generally tough times. I mean, we've certainly had tough times in this country, but we're certainly in one now. And if you haven't noticed, you know, Lord bless you. But yeah, but the thing is that there were some very smart people throughout the last century and century plus who were very forward thinking, and they knew the more people that came here, the better. And they made it so that people could get here easily with roads and infrastructure and hotels and restaurants and things like this. This isn't just a wilderness area. There's this very human element to it, and I just want to showcase that. You know, I looked up this word mythos recently, and it really got me. It's just such a cool concept word. It's Greek, so it's very old, and it can mean a lot of things, right? It can mean narrative. It can mean story, like a living story, or a story that everyone kind of participates in. It can mean fiction. It can mean dialogue. And what it is, though, is like a collection of stories of the experiences of the people who've all experienced a similar thing. When you participate in a shared mythos, it really brings people together in a really special way. And I'm noticing that more and more the closer we get to this election, that people are just tired of this feeling like the walls are closing in. But when they get up here, they sort of lay their weapons at the door. Yeah, I can see this huge relief, this rejuvenation, this renewal.
That is the most amazing view I've ever seen.
Wow. Of the old story, you know, there's like, oh, this really is important. And almost everyone can agree. The national parks are really timeless. We're gonna be looking back in time thousands and thousands of years, you know, layers of rock with thousands of years in between. There's a reason why we drew the lines around them, but we didn't just draw the lines around them. We built roads, we built beautiful buildings, and enduring buildings, right? Notice the buildings in the national park, right? They're meant to just project an aspect of permanence. You know, they're made of like stone and timber, and the cedar shingles on the roof are, you know, shining gold. Fortified against the elements. So when you come up here, it seems like all these buildings are just kind of frozen in time, you know? It's like going back to the 20s and 30s. They have this sense like we're really doing this, and we're not just doing this for one generation. We're doing this for all people forever. And I would wager it's more important than ever. You know, we just came through this pandemic where we were just so isolated, so divided, so intensely beleaguered, constantly being told what is vital and what is not vital, what is necessary and what is not necessary. Is this a luxury good, or is this a necessity? Necessity. Right. This is a place of safety. This is actually a place of refuge. I would just encourage anyone, if you're feeling that encroaching sense of ennui, that, or, you know, especially political ennui or spiritual ennui, come to the national parks. Come to Crater Lake in particular. This place has always been sacred for people throughout the millennia, right? This was called Jiwas by the Native Americans before. That means a sacred place.
Well, just like people go to religious pilgrimages, part of the reason they're going is to feel the energy and the vibration of the place.
Something like this was sacred
Yeah,
to the early natives
Yes,
that were,
yes.
when they came in here. And then when the Europeans came in, you look at some of the names on some of these things and you know they were impressed. It was
Right.
a sacred place to them too.
That's right.
And look at this crowd.
Yeah.
It's a sacred place today, just
Yeah.
like it was then.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I believe it. And
Absolutely.
it brings out the best in people. It really does, and I've
Yeah.
seen that. This is something that has been here for a long time, and it's going to be here for a long time going forward. So, Crater Lake is a very magical place, and it does magical things to people, and I've seen it. Yeah, and I hope you have a great day, and thanks for tuning in. And if you're ever considering coming to a place like this, coming specifically to Crater Lake, definitely reach out. You can find our contact down in the description, and we'd love to hear from you. So until then, happy trails. You know, we have a very rhythmic existence. Days, weeks, months, years. That's how we measure things in our minds. So this is like getting into a different scale, a different measurement.